All right, so good morning, everyone, and welcome back for day 2 of training. We're going to do today just like we did yesterday. We'll start off with our slide deck, and then we will go into the system. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to unmute and ask, or you can place those in the chat, whatever's easier for you. Again, if you get ready for a break before we get there, just let me know. And I want to make sure that you can see my screen before I get started.
Yes, we can see.
Okay, thank you. All right, so today's agenda, we're going to start off with our coaching sessions. This is things you see that your agents are struggling with that you want to improve on. You are able to create a coaching session for them. Now, our coaching sessions, they are going to come with coaching categories, which we'll go over in just a few minutes. Then we're going to move to our dashboards, and our dashboards consist of different QM widgets. So you're able to plug in like the team you're wanting your information for, the date range, etc. One widget's going to tell you like are your quality plans on track or off track. One's going to give you your overall quality score, etc. Then we're going to hit reporting. We have some really good reporting. It's called Business Intelligence Reports, or BI for short. We are going to go through the process of getting access to these reports as well as walking through each one of these reports. Then we're going to go to My Zone and the parts that we did not go over yesterday. We're going to hit those today. And then we'll move to our customer community site. This is where if you would like to see things in CX1, you can go in and put an enhancement request for those. That's how we get a lot of our updates each quarter. This is also, if NICE is not working correctly, this is where you can put in a case for that. And then at the end, we'll take our assessment. Now, one thing that's not on here that I like to add into my training is I like to show you the appeal process, what it's going to look like on the agent side, as well as what it's going to look like on the evaluator side. So we're going to start off with our coaching. And with our coaching sessions, we have categories. There's 2 types of categories. The first one is going to be your focus area. The focus area is just your main KPI that you're trying to improve on. So what is your agent struggling with and why are you sending this coaching session out? We have some focus areas that come out of the box with your system. For example, let's say your agent is struggling with average handle time. That would be your focus area. Then you're going to select the behavior. The behavior is just what is bringing this average handle time score down. Again, we have some out of the box built in for you, but I'm going to show you how to create your own in just a few minutes. So maybe your agent is having trouble operating with urgency. That is what is bringing their average handle time score down. These are the focus areas and behaviors that come out of the box with your system. So the first one, like average handling time, these are the behaviors you could choose that would bring that score down. Talk time, these are the behaviors you could choose that would bring that down, FCR and CSAT. But I want to go into the system and I want to show you how you can create your own focus areas and behaviors. So we're going to come to our waffle grid in our top left-hand corner, and we are going to come down to where it says coaching and click on this. Now, it's going to open up to your coaching manager, but under this, you should see where it says focus area and behavior. You always want to add your behavior first, and I'm going to show you why in just a couple of minutes. But all you have to do is click on behavior. These are the behaviors that come with your system, and you're going to know that because they say system default. To add a new behavior, you just come to the top right. You'll see this blue Add New button. You just simply click on this, type the behavior you're wanting, and you would give it a save. Okay. Now, I'm not going to add one to your system, but that's how you would add your behaviors. Now, once you have all of your behaviors added, then you're going to come back to the left where it says focus area, And these are the focus areas that come out of the box. To create a new focus area, you come to the top right, you'll see this blue Add New button, and you just type whatever focus area you're wanting. Remember, this is your main KPI you're wanting to improve on. What is your agent really struggling with? So let's say your agent is struggling with telephone etiquette. Okay, so I would use that as my focus area. And then this is why you add your behaviors first. Now you're going to select which behaviors you want to be able to choose from that's bringing this telephone etiquette score down. So you just select the box beside of the behaviors you want, and you click this blue add button. It'll move them over to the right. Or if you needed to remove one, simply click it and click the remove button. It'll move it back to the left. Now, once you have these like you want it, you just simply come up here and you would click Save and Update. Now, I'm not going to actually add this into your system, but that is the process you would follow for that. All right, I'm going to jump back to my slide deck for just a minute to go over a couple more things. We have three types of coaching sessions. We have a one-on-one coaching session, and this is going to be between a coach and one agent or one participant. And then we have a coach, the coach, and this is going to be between a coach and if you select a participant that has coaching privileges themselves, it's going to turn to coach the coach. And then we have a group coaching session. This is going to be between a coach and multiple participants, okay? Now, you don't have to do anything for this. When you select your participants, it's automatically going to tell you if it's a one-on-one, a coach to coach, or a group coaching session. All right, I'm going to go back to the system, and we're going to come up here where it says Coaching Manager, and we're going to click right here on this. Now, this is where you're going to see the status of coaching sessions that you've sent out. You're going to be able to see, are they completed? Are they awaiting acknowledgement, meaning we're waiting for that agent to go through those coaching sessions, or are they overdue? Okay, so I'll show you an example of this in just a few minutes. Now, if you are the team lead on that team, the one that can receive coaching requests, you will get a bell notification alerting you of those coaching requests. But if you ever need to come back to it, to the right of coaching sessions, you're going to see where it says coaching requests. So that's where you can either approve it or you can just leave it under analysis or etc. Okay. But we're going to come to the far right and you're going to see this blue new coaching session button. We're going to click right here on this. Now, before we dive into this, I do want to show you all of these options that you have right up here in the top right. The first option you're going to see is a close button. Be aware, if you click on this close button, it is not going to save your coaching session, okay? It will give you, you're about to lose everything alert. Beside of that is your save. This is your save as draft. So if you wanted to come back to it later, you could do so. To the right of that, you're going to see your three-dot settings. Now, from here, you would be able to delete your coaching session. I will tell you, you are only able to delete a coaching session while it is in draft. Once that coaching session has been sent out, you can no longer delete that coaching session. You also would have your duplicate, so you can make an exact copy of this coaching session from here. Now, all of these guys are going to be grayed out until after we do our objective and add our participants, then you would be able to select these. Send for acknowledgement, that means you are sending it to that agent for them to walk through that coaching session. This drop down arrow, if you were to click on it, is going to say delegate session. So what that is maybe I am the one creating this coaching session, but I want Eduardo to be the actual coach. I could delegate this coaching session to him. And then schedule, this is going to be if you've purchased the WFM, which is an additional purchase, you are able to link that agent's calendar to this so you can schedule coachings for one-on-one or coach the coach sessions only. Right here, your name's going to automatically appear as the coach. And then you're going to select your focus area. So again, this is your main KPI that you're trying to improve on. What is your agent struggling with? So from the drop down, let's say that they're having trouble with their average handling time. And then you're going to select the behavior. So what is bringing this down for them? So maybe they're having trouble effectively multitasking. Now, if you select an acknowledgement due date, this is when does this agent need to have this coaching session completed? So you just click on the calendar and you can select the date that you want this completed by. Your next option is your objective. The objective is just what is the purpose of this coaching session? Excuse me. They do want this to be in a SMART goal. So if you hover over it, it is going to be a specific, measurable, achievable, realistic with a clear time frame. A good example of an objective is to use knowledge base effectively to reduce HT by 10%. Now, you do have to add an objective before you can go any further. So I'm just going to put test as our objective just so I can continue on creating this. You are able to add some metrics with this if you wanted to. All right. Right down here, over on the far right, you're going to see the Add Participants button. This is where you can select who you are wanting to coach. So you just simply click Add Participants here. Now, in order for their names to show up here in the employee profile, the attribute can be evaluated and coached is going to need to be selected. You do have your filter here, so you could filter down by a specific group or groups, or you can filter down by a specific team. You also can type in who you are looking for. So I'm just going to do copy, select it, and it's going to move right over here to the right. When I come down and click confirm, you can now see this is Coach the Coach because he has coaching privileges himself. Okay. If I were to go back and add another participant, and I'm just going to select someone, you're going to see this is now going to turn to a group session. There's 2 people in this group. Your agent will be able to see that it is a group session and they can see there's 2 people in the group. However, they cannot see who the other person is that's in that group. With a group coaching session, you're going to have to fill in your completion threshold. If I put this on 50%, what that means when one of these participants clicks acknowledge, it's going to show completed for the entire coaching session. So if you want both parties to complete it, you're going to turn this to 100%. Okay. Now I'm going to remove this person I added and just leave it on Capri. And to the left of your add participants, you're going to see where it says add viewers. This is like if your supervisor or manager, when they want to see when a coaching session is sent out, when it's completed, is it overdue, or if they just want to review the coaching session themselves, you can add them as a viewer. You just simply click on Add Viewers, and you can just select who you would like to be the viewers. And then right here, you can hover over it. It'll tell you who the viewers are. This will show up in those people's coaching manager. If you decide you want to remove the viewers, you just simply click on it again and you can remove those. Now that we have selected our participants and our objective, you can now see these buttons, you can select them. I want to come to this drop down arrow right here to show you what this delegate session is. So again, maybe I'm creating the coaching, but I want Eduardo to be the coach. I could just simply click delegate session. And right here under the objective, I can find, let's do Enrique because he showed up. So I selected him. You can see Enrique is now the coach, and created by is going to be me. Now, if you decide you don't want to delegate this coach to someone else, you just simply click on the X to the right of Enrique's name, and you go back to being the coach. All right, any questions so far?
No questions, thanks.
Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add our resources. Your first resource is your interactions. You can add up to 10 interactions per coaching session. You just simply click on this interactions and it's going to take you to your interactions homepage. So you just click on it. Now, the homepage will look a little different than yesterday. You're not going to have your saved queries and you don't have your insights at the bottom, but you can still type in who you're looking for and you can select your date period. And then you just simply click search. All right, it is going to bring up these interactions. Now, again, you can add up to 10. Right up here in the left-hand corner, you can see out of 10 how many you've selected. To select them, all you do is click the box to the left of the type of question it is. And you don't have to select 10 if you don't want to, just select the ones you want. And then you come to the top right to this blue add button, and it's going to add those directly to the coaching session. Now, from here, you can click on the play button, and it's going to bring up your CX1 player so you can listen to that interaction if you want. Again, if you've added one you don't mean to, there's an X to remove it. Or if you wanted to add some more, you just simply click this Add Interactions button again. Your next resource is going to be your attachments. You can add up to 5 attachments per coaching session. All you do is click on attachments. You can either drag and drop your file here, or you can simply click browse to go to your documents. So I have a telephone etiquette document. All you do is double click on it. It'll scan for viruses, and then you just simply click upload. Okay. So here it is right here. You can download it from here. Or if you wanted to add another one, you just simply click this add attachments button again. Your next option is evaluations. You can add up to 5 evaluations per coaching session. This can only be done for one-on-one coaching sessions and coach the coach sessions. You cannot add evaluations to a group coaching session. So when I click right here on evaluations, it's going to bring up Kapaya's evaluations that we completed right here. So again, you can select up to 5 of these. You just check the box by the ones that you would like. And let's see, you just come down and you can click add, and it's going to add those evaluations here. Now you can click on it. It's going to open up your CX1 player as well as this graded evaluation form. So remember, if you have edit permissions, you can edit from here. You can also see the evaluation history from here as well. Your last resource is going to be hyperlinks. You can add up to 5 hyperlinks per coaching session. You just simply click on links and you type in your URL. And I'm just going to do niceincontact.com. And you're going to add a link label. So this is what your agent's going to see that they know they need to click here. So I'm just going to say click here to review the correct process. If I wanted to add another hyperlink, you could simply click this plus sign to bring down some more boxes to add another one. And you just click confirm. This is what your hyperlink will look like on your coaching session. So when you click on it, it should take you to the URL that you put in, which it did. It's working like it should. You can also add more links right here if you wanted to add some more hyperlinks. Right down here, this comment box is optional, but this is where you as a coach can leave that agent comments here if you want. Again, it's not required. All right, guys, what questions do you have on a coaching session? Okay. I do want to show you, it looks like you guys have purchased WFM. So you have this blue schedule button. Again, you can only schedule one-on-one and coach the coach sessions. You cannot schedule group. But when you click on it, you would have to select an activity code. There should be one added for coaching. You could select the date that you're wanting to do the coaching. You could leave the agent a comment here that would appear on their schedule. Select the time that you would like to start it, the duration, and when you click check availability, let me show you what it would normally look like. It would look like this. It would show you the available times. And when you select the time you want to do the coaching, it's going to mark it off in that agent's calendar for you automatically. All right, I'm just going to click close on this. Now, at this point, this would be when I would, if I did not schedule it, I would click send for acknowledgement. I am not going to send this out because remember, once a coaching session is sent out, you can no longer delete it. Okay, so I'm just going to click close and leave that. I'm going to jump back to my slide deck for just a few minutes. I want to show you what the coaching manager will look like. So this is where you're going to see this status of all your coaching sessions you have sent out. So you're going to be able to see the focus area, the coaching type. So is it a one-on-one, a group, or coach the coach? The coach's name, the employee or employees that it was sent to, when it was last updated, when it was created on, and then the status. So this red icon means it's overdue. If you go over to the right, this is going to tell you the due date. And if the number in the orange circle is telling you how many days overdue this is. Now, from your 3-dot settings right here, you could send them a reminder. So that agent would get a bell notification alerting them that they have a coaching session that is overdue. Or if it says awaiting acknowledgement, that means we are waiting for that agent to go through that coaching session and click acknowledge. Now this, again, is their due date. The number in the white circle is telling you how many days until their due date, or if it is due today, it's going to have a green flag. Now, if it was scheduled through the schedule button through WFM, the scheduled date and time would populate right here. So where's the agent going to get all of these coaching sessions? Your agent will receive these in their MyZone coaching sessions. They will receive a bell notification alerting them they've received a coaching session. And when they click on it, it takes them to My Zone Coaching Sessions. So this is going to look a lot like it did for your coaching manager. They can see their focus area, the coaching type, their coach's name, the coaching date, when it was last updated, the status. So awaiting acknowledgement. Again, that means we're waiting for the agent to go through this. This is the due date. Okay, so this number in this white circle is how many days until the due date, and the green is like if it's due today. Now, all your agent would have to do would be click right here on it, and it's going to open up that coaching session for them. Now, I do want to point out when you, as a coach, send that coaching session out for acknowledgement, you are then going to be able to put how much time you spent preparing this coaching session. It's not required, but it is there. Your agent can put how much time they spent going through the coaching session. But that agent's going to go through, they're going to listen to the interactions that they have been attached to that. They're going to look at their hyperlinks, their attachments, etc. When they finish, they just simply come up to the top right and they click acknowledge. When they click acknowledge, they're going to be given these options. So they can rate this coaching up to 5 stars if they want. So if it's 5 stars, that's just saying they really got a lot out of this coaching session. 1 star, they didn't get much out of it. They also have the option to leave the coach a comment from here. Again, it's not required, but it is an option that they have. And then you just simply click acknowledge. Now, it'll show as completed, but even though it is completed, your agent can still go through and they can review that if they need to. They're just not going to have the option to acknowledge it again. They're only going to have the close option at the top. Now, from My Zone coaching sessions, your agents can request coaching sessions. So they'll have this request coaching right up here. When they click on it, this box is going to populate. So in this box, they're just putting what they would like to be coached on here. When they click that send request, then that person that's listed as the team lead would get a bell notification alerting them of that. All right, guys, what questions do you have about coaching sessions? All right, well, let's do our knowledge check. True or false? The agent will find coaching sessions assigned to them in My Zone coaching sessions.
Yes.
Very good. It is true. Which of the following is not a type of coaching session within CX1 Empower? A, coach the coach, B, group, C, agent coaches the coach, or D, one-on-one?
King's letter C.
Very good. It is C, agent coaches the coach. True or false? The schedule button gets enabled for only one-on-one or coach the coach sessions if WFM is purchased. This one is true, guys. All right, so we're going to move on to our dashboards. Each dashboard is going to consist of different QM widgets. So I want to go into the system itself to show you these. So we're going to come to our waffle grid in our top left-hand corner, and we are going to come down to where it says dashboard, and we're going to click on this. And it does take it a minute or two for it to load. All right, since you have a dashboard already created in your system, you're going to come over to the far right. You'll see this little 3-dot setting. If you click on this, you're going to see this at the very bottom, the plus sign that says New Dashboard. We're going to click right here on this, and you're going to give your dashboard a name. So again, we're just going to do ZZZ, your initials, and we're going to do Test Dashboard. Okay, you can give this a description if you want. It's not required. And then you're going to come down to the bottom and you're going to click Create. And it's going to bring you to this screen. So we're going to add our widget. So right up here at the top, you're going to see the plus sign that says Add Widget. You're going to click right here on this. Okay. Now, we're going to be going over quality management widgets. So we're going to click right here on quality management, and it's going to bring up the widgets that you have. The first widget is going to be your evaluator calibration. Now, this is only going to show you completed calibration data, but it's going to show you the variance from the different evaluators from the score. Now, since we did not complete a calibration, I am going to show you this one on the slide, but it's going to have each evaluator's name. And if there is a greater than 5% variance, it's going to show those evaluators in red. Also, the forms calibration widget, I want to show you here as well, because we, again, did not complete a calibration. But this is just going to show you the forms that we used in calibration that have the highest variance. So you'll have your different forms listed down here and then the variance for those. All right. The next one is going to be your evaluator performance. It's going to show you like how many completed evaluations each evaluator has, how many pending, if they had any appealed. All you have to do is click right here on it, and it's going to bring your widget down for you. Now, I do recommend always starting right here with your 3-dot settings for your widget. On this widget, you can change your display name. You can select the date range that you would like your information from. You can choose the evaluation start time period. Do you want to include on-the-fly evaluations? Those are our manual evaluations like we did yesterday. So I'm going to say yes to this. You can break it down to specific evaluators if you wanted. Specific groups, also forms. You can change your completed threshold and what you want to show in red. So we're just going to click Save. And you can scroll down, and you can also, guys, make these widgets larger so that you can see the information. So here is Capi, was sent 12, and so far 3 of those have been completed. You can see that there are 9 pending evaluations. There's none expired, deleted, or replaced. Okay. You also can go back to your 3-dot settings, and it's going to show you how you can export this part of your widget. You can change your widget display. So it is currently the table, but you could do like completed evaluations. You would just select your evaluator that you're wanting your information on. No. And you can see the completed evaluations over time from here. The next widget is going to be your plan status widget. So this is going to give you the status of your quality plans. So you just simply click on it. Again, you can go to your 3-dot settings to add your information. You can change your display name, your widget display by on-track status, or the breakdown. And then here, you're going to see your different quality plans names here to show you like how many's completed. You can see there are 4 of these. If you click on this pop out right here, it's going to take you to your My Zone evaluator assignments so you can get your plans monitoring information. So you can see why is it off track, which evaluators are not completing that. Your next one is going to be your quality evaluations. This is going to be evaluation scores, including details for teams and agents. And I'm not sure if we're going to get information for this one. No, we're going to skip this one because this one is a report. So I'm going to remove it. The next one is your quality score. So it's going to tell you your agents that have the highest and lowest average quality score over that time period that you set. Okay, so this would be, again, you have your 3-dot settings so you can make changes. You could filter down by a specific team, a date period. You can filter down by teams, or you can see it by agents. Do you want to include on the fly? You can filter down by form or groups if you wanted to. So this is going to be your overall team's average score. These are going to be your top, and these are going to be your bottoms. Again, it does have your pop out. It's going to take you to your My Zone quality performance. So you can see your overall team's average score, and it's going to break it down to the agents that are in that team. So those are your quality management widgets. Right over to the right, you're going to see coaching. This is where you can get your coaching status widget, so your coaching session information. Now, since we did not send one of those out, I am going to show you what this looks like in the slide deck. So here you can see it's going to be color coded. You can see how many coaching sessions are in draft, how many are awaiting acknowledgement. So we're waiting for that agent to go through those and click acknowledge. We can see how many are overdue, how many completed, assigned, how many have been scheduled through WFM. Our next widget is going to be our metrics widget. They have just added 2 metrics widgets that you can add. The first one for QM is going to be the KPI. This is going to be your voice and digital metrics. So I'm just going to click on KPI. And you come to your 3-dot settings. You could change your name of this one if you wanted. And then right here, you're going to see where it says select metrics. When you click on that, you're going to come down to where it says quality management. You can select up to 8 of these to get your metrics for, okay? So you can do like the number of evaluations completed. And again, you can select up to 8 of these. Let's see, the average quality score. Total evaluations completed. Let's see, the number of appealed. All right, so you don't have to select all 8, but then you just simply click confirm. You can select your date period. So I'm just going to do the last 30 days. Again, you can select a team or team. You can break it down to a skill or skills. Now on this, if you go, yes, question.
Just I'm asking about that information you're showing.
Mhm.
It's about who's being evaluated, no? But is there any way to see who's being making those evaluations, like the
There
coaches
is
information?
not. There is not.
Okay, thanks.
Mhm. You're welcome. All right. If I go back to my three dot setting, guys, you can choose your widget display. So you can do it horizontal or vertical. And you can make this large. Well, I've done clicked on something in it. There we go. You can make these larger. And you can change your date period right here if you wanted to do that as well. Your last widget that you're going to have is your KPI trend. This is just where you can select one metric, and it's just going to give you the trend for that specific metric that you select. So I'm just going to click on it. Again, you want to go to your three dot settings. And right here is going to say select metric. So you can come down to where it says quality management. And I'm just going to do the number of evaluations. Again, you can change your date period. It's not giving me any data for that one. So let me see if I can select another one. Let's see if it'll give me anything for this one. Okay, so here we can see the trend for number of evaluations completed. All right. Now you can use these widgets multiple times, guys. So like if you wanted this quality score to be like for the default team and add that same widget, do it for like Eduardo's team, you could do that. So you would be able to have the same widget on here multiple times. You also can hover over these widgets. You can move them around. Or if you come to the bottom right-hand corner, you can make these larger or you can make them smaller from there. Now, once you have your dashboard built, you just simply come right up here to the top right and you'll see this blue Save button. Okay. Now, once you save it, if you wanted to add another widget, you would just simply click this button right here. It'll take you right back to our previous screen. You can export your entire dashboard and export it to Excel. You can also share a dashboard from here. So you just simply click share, turn your share dashboard on. Now you can share it with all employees. If you share it with all employees, they're all going to be able to see your dashboard. They're just not going to have the three dot settings so they can't make changes to your dashboard. Or you can do a custom share. If you do a custom share, you could share it to a specific team or teams from here, or you can share it with specific employees. So again, you can search for their names here, or you can just scroll down to find who you are looking for. So I'm just going to do Eduardo. I don't know if that's the right, no, this is the right one. Okay. So for here, you can choose, do you want that person to be able to view your dashboard? So again, they will not be able to make changes to that dashboard, or you can make them an owner of that dashboard if you wanted to do that. If you've added someone you didn't mean to, there is an X by their name. And then you just simply click save. All right, right up here from this drop down, you are going to see the dashboards that you have access to. So if you were shared a dashboard, you're going to see it right up there. If you go to the right of your share, this would just make your dashboard a full screen. And to the right of that, you're going to have your 3-dot settings. So this is where you can edit your details. This would allow you to edit your name of your description, name and description of your dashboard. And I'm just going to leave it as it is. If I go back to my 3-dot settings, you can duplicate this dashboard or make it an exact copy of it. You can duplicate to my reports. We'll get to reports in just a few minutes. You can also delete this dashboard from here. And all of our dashboards are going to default to Mountain Standard Time, but you can change that time zone from here if you needed to. Now, if you come over to the left, you're going to see under dashboards, you're going to see where it says manage dashboards. So this is where you can see all dashboards you have access to. Now it's going to open up to your favorites, but if you come over to the right, you'll see all dashboards. So here you're going to see all the dashboards that you have access to. You could click on it, the name of it, it would bring up that dashboard for you to view. If you wanted to make this dashboard a favorite, you just come to the left and click on this star, and it is going to make this dashboard a favorite. So I can see the name of my dashboard. It's been shared with one employee, the owners of this, who created it. If you gave it a description, it's going to show here when it was last viewed, last modified. Now, if it is a dashboard that you've created, you can delete it. You cannot delete anyone else's dashboards. Or if you go to the 3-dot settings, from here you can edit your details. Again, that's just going to be the name of the dashboard and your description. You can duplicate your dashboard or make it an exact copy of it from here, and you can also share it from here. Now, we have the ability to project a dashboard. So if you have like an extra monitor in your office and you wanted to project a dashboard, you could do so. To do that, you would just find your bell notification right up here at the top. And if you come to the left of that, you're going to see this little projector screen. So if you click on it, right? Now, you can just project one dashboard, or if you prefer to do like a slideshow of different dashboards, you can do that as well. So I'm going to click on my dashboard, and then I can come over here to all dashboards, and I'm just going to select a dashboard. And then right down here, you can choose how fast or slow you want your dashboards to change. The minimum for this is going to be 20 seconds. So this is going to be your seconds. This is going to be your minutes. And you just simply click project. So it's going to bring up my dashboard, and in 20 seconds, it's going to automatically swap to the next dashboard for me. This will seem like the longest 20 seconds ever. There we go. All right. And you can just simply click right here on the X to get back to your regular dashboard. All right. Any questions?
No questions, thanks.
Okay. All right. So we have just recently added reports to our dashboard, because with your business intelligence reports, only 10% of your users can have access to those without a charge. So we did add some of our reports to dashboards. You just simply come under Manage Dashboards to Reports. And it's going to open up to your pre-built reports. Now, to find your quality management reports, you just come over here where it says Domain. if you will just click on that, it's going to bring up your QM reports. Now, I'm not going to walk through every one of these reports here because our next part is we're going to actually go through the reports, and these reports are included in that. But I just want to show you the reports that you have here. For example, the evaluator analysis is going to tell you like their performance with their quality plans. You can change like your date period from here. So you can see like how many evaluations this evaluator's been sent, how many they've completed, how many pending, expired, deleted, or if they've had any replaced. You can come down, you can compare one evaluator to another evaluator just to see how they're doing compared to each other. The completed evaluations over time, and again, you could select your evaluator from here. Okay, you can see their completed evaluations over time. You can see their quality plan status. So you can select a specific person or people from here. And then the quality plan status. So here you can see your on-the-fly evaluations. You can see their completed percentage, their evaluation score, the total evaluations, any replaced or expired. Now, each one of these, you'll have your 3-dot settings, and you can export those different ways. You can also choose to create this as my report. So you can just click on my reports, and you would be able to see that information from here. All right, so again, these are your quality management reports, but again, I'm not going to go in detail with those here, just simply because we're about to go over it in our reports itself. All right, well, let's do our knowledge check. True or false? I want everyone in my team to view and monitor my dashboard. I can make this dashboard available to them by sharing the dashboard.
That's true.
Very good. True or false? You can add the same widget multiple times to a dashboard. Example, you can have Team A data and Team B data.
That's true.
Very good. All right, so our next is going to be reporting for QM. Do you guys want to take a break before we dive into reporting?
Yeah, that sounds good for me.
Okay. Do y'all want to take your lunch, or do you want to just take a 15-minute break?
Can be the 15 minutes break.
Okay. So let's come back at 11:10. How's that?
Okay, thanks.
All right, guys, enjoy your break. All right, guys, welcome back. If you will, just let me know when you're back.
I think we can go on.
Okay, thank you. All right, so we're going to move on to our reporting for quality management. It is a two-step process to get access to these reports. Your admins are the ones that have to give you these permissions. So I'm going to go into the system itself. And I want to show the admins how you give these permissions. So I'm going to come to my admin application. And you just find the employee you're wanting to give these permissions to. And if you come down to the bottom, they have to have this can view BI report attribute enabled. And then you come to the roles and permissions, find the role you're wanting to give these to. And they have to have this general BI report viewer enabled, and then they select the reports they want you to have access to. So again, only 10% of your active users can have access to these without a charge. It is a monthly charge if you go above that 10%. So now I'm going to jump back to my slide deck for just a second. This is going to be a good reference for you. So for example, if I wanted to know about the quality plan performance, these are the reports that's going to give me that information. Or if I wanted to know about the question performance, this is the report that's going to give me that information as well. I am going to go over our coaching transactional report in the slide deck, just simply because we did not send out a coaching session, so we're not going to have any information for that. But here you can select like the date period that you're wanting your information on. You can break it down to teams if you wanted, but each coaching type, so one-on-one, group, coach the coach, they're going to be different color coded, and you can see how many like one-on-ones have been sent out during this time period. It's also going to have the different focus areas, and it can tell you how many coaching sessions have been sent out for each focus area during that time period. And you can see the status. So you can see like how many are awaiting acknowledgement, how many are overdue, how many are still in draft, completed, etc. And then right down here, you're going to have all of your coaching session information. You can see if it's a one-on-one, a group, coach the coach, the session name, the agent it was sent to, the team they're on, the focus area, as well as the behavior, the status, so awaiting acknowledgement, completed, overdue, etc. If it has if it has been acknowledged, it's going to have the date and time that that was acknowledged. And if they rated that coaching, you can see the rating right here as well. You can see who created the coaching session. This also has columns so you can add more information. For example, you can see like the coach's comments to the agent's comments back to the coach, etc. So I'm going to go into the system itself, and we're going to go to our waffle grid in our top left-hand corner. And we are going to come down to where it says reporting, and we're going to click on this. Now it's going to open up to your pre-built reports, which is where you want to be for your quality management reports. Now, again, you have to have the roles and permissions to see those. So if you don't see them, it's perfectly fine. I'm just going to walk through each one with you. But you can see I have standard reports and BI reports. I want to make sure I'm on BI. And then after you do that, you want to come right here to this filter and click on it. And from the drop down, it's going to bring up your domains. From here, you want to select the coaching. That is where you're going to find that coaching transactional report that I just showed you on your slide deck. And you want to come down and you want to select QM. That's going to bring up your quality management reports for you. Now, right here, you're going to have your report name. It's going to give you a description. So the first report is going to be our calibration report. Remember, that's where the supervisor or manager wanted to make sure there was not a lot of variance in the scoring from the different evaluators. So you just simply click on the report, and each report's going to have its own unique filters. So you can choose the time period that you're wanting your report on. You can select a specific form or form. Now, if you wanted to look for a specific form, guys, uncheck this match case, type in whatever you're looking for, and click enter to bring that up. Okay. If you don't uncheck the match case and then click enter, it's not going to bring it up. If I wanted to include one specific form, I can just click on it. The single arrow is going to move it over to the right for me. Or if I wanted to bring over all of these forms, this double arrow would move them all to the right. Now, same thing, if I wanted to move them back, this double arrow move them to the back to the left. I'm going to leave this blank because we're just going to try to get some information. And if you leave it blank, it's going to include all. Same thing, if you wanted to search for a specific evaluator, you would want to uncheck this match case, type it in, click enter to find it. Again, I'm just going to leave it blank and click run. Okay, so here is the calibration I sent out. You can see the form that was used for it. It was not completed. One calibration has been sent out for this form, and this is the current calibration score for it. There is not going to be a variance because everyone did not complete theirs. But you just click right here on the form name. It's going to open up and tell you more about the calibration. So you're going to have your different sections on your form, and then you're going to have the questions that are in each section. So you can see the calibration score currently for this form. Again, we're not going to have a variance because it was not completed. Now, each section of this, you can export a different way. You just roll your mouse around to find the 3-dot settings. It'll show you how you can export this part of this report. This back arrow right here brings us right back to the main part of your report. So we just saw the report by form, but you could also choose to see it by evaluator. So you're going to have your different evaluators, the calibrations that they have completed, the total calibrations they've been sent, and their calibration score. Again, there's not going to be a variance because only one person completed it. Now, you also have your share right up here on the right. It'll show you the ways that you can share this report. And then over here on the left, all of our reports are going to have the same options. The first one is your bookmark. So if you wanted to bookmark this view so that you could come back to it later, you just simply click Add New and give it a name. And then click Save. All right, once that is added, you do have your pencil where you can edit it if you want, and you can also delete it from here as well. The next option is your reset option. So let me tell you about this. We had customers that were saying they were in a report, they got called to a meeting, and when they came back in, they had to redo all of their filters. So we listened to that, and what we did is if you were to go out of this report, the very next time that you come into it, it's going to bring up that information where we left off. Okay. If you want your filters back, you would need to click reset and then click yes to get your filters back. Your undo, so you would undo the last thing that was done, your redo, and then your reprompt. So if you just needed to make a couple of changes to your filters, maybe I just wanted to change my date period, you could do that and click run, and it's going to update with that new information for you. All right, any questions on this report? This pre-built report is going to bring you right back to your list of reports. The coaching transactional report is what I just went over in our slide deck. You should not have the coaching workflow because that was replaced by the coaching transactional report. The next one is your evaluation details. This is going to be your raw evaluation data. So I'm just going to click on it. All right, the time period on the rest of these reports is going to look a little different. Your options for this is going to be your evaluation start time period. So if this is a manual evaluation, this is going to tell you the date and time that evaluator begins scoring that evaluation. If it comes from a quality plan, it's going to show the date and time that quality plan sent that task to that evaluator, okay? Or you can do it by the submitted time period or the recorded interaction, so when it hit your system. I'm just going to leave it on the evaluation start time period. Now, if you use hierarchy, it's just an org chart for your entire company. The lowest level of that would be your teams. If you set up hierarchy, you could filter down by a level here. You can filter down by a specific group or group, team or team, skill or skills, form or form. So again, I'm leaving this all blank and just going to click run. Here you can select your specific agent. So let me type my agent's name in. And then here is where you can choose your evaluation start time period. So you can choose like the last 7, 14, 30, 90 days, etc. And click run. All right, this is a report, guys, that has columns, so you can add extra information to this report if you want. There are a few of these that I want to go over with you. The first one is going to be active status. Your employee had to fill out an employee profile for each person. That's just where the name was, they put your email address in, they assigned you a role. So once they activate that, you are considered an active agent, meaning you work for the company. If you were to leave and go elsewhere to another job, they have to deactivate your employee profile and your status will show as inactive. That just means you no longer work there. Okay, so that's what the active status is. Let's see here. Reason, this is going to be the report. If you edit or delete something or replace something, this is going to be the report. You see the reason for those. Auto acknowledge. Remember, when your agent receives an evaluation in their MyZone evaluations, it starts a 60-day countdown. Okay, if they have not acknowledged it by the time it gets to 0, the system is going to auto acknowledge it for them. So if it says true, it was auto acknowledged, the system acknowledged it. If it says false, it has not. All right, let's see here. If you use rank on your form, so instead of your agent seeing their percentage, you wanted them to see like failed or passed, you can add ranking. If they fail a critical question, remember the critical questions on your form are your auto fail. They could fail either the section of the form or fail the entire form. If they fail a critical question, it's going to say true. Otherwise, it will say false. User review comments. This is that agent's reason they are requesting that one-time review or that appeal, such as, please look at question 1.2 and 1.3. I believe they're correct. The dispute resolver comment is the evaluator comments back to that agent. Thank you for alerting me of the scoring error. Your score has been updated. Okay, and then once you select the information you want, you just simply click OK. And there's a gray scroll bar, so you can scroll over and see all of your information from here. Now, the flow trigger, manual, remember those are going to be your on-the-fly evaluations. If it comes from a quality plan, it's going to say QP here. Reason, again, that's the reason something was edited, deleted, or replaced. You got your workflow ID. Let me scroll on over. If it come from a quality plan, that name's going to be listed here. The form that was used, as well as the form version. The evaluation start date and time. If it has been submitted, it's going to have the date and time it was submitted. The evaluator. Okay, here is their average score and then ranking, so what your agent actually saw. If they fail a critical question, it's going to say true here, otherwise false. Your actual interaction date and time, the duration, direction, whether it's inbound, outbound, or internal. And all of these were segments, except for this one at the bottom, that was that employee evaluation. So remember, the employee evaluation is not going to have any interaction data to go with that. Any questions on this?
No, thanks.
Right. The next one is your evaluation question and answer analysis. This is just going to be an analysis for all the questions on a form, and it can tell you like how many times each answer was selected on that form. So again, I'm just leaving everything blank. This is a form where you can only select one form at a time. So I'm just going to select my form. If you have multiple form versions, you can select which version or versions you would like included here. And you can also break it down to your specific agents if you wanted. Excuse me. And then you just click run. All right, so here you're going to see your version. If you wanted to see if you had multiple versions, you could filter down right up here by the versions. You're going to see each section in the form as well as each question. So did the agent use an appropriate greeting? No was selected one time for that, and that makes up 17% of that answer representation. This is the, let me scroll over, average evaluation score for that question. Yes was selected 5 times, which makes up 83%, and that's 71% average evaluation score. So it's just going to be an analysis of each answer choice to let you know how many times it was selected on that form. Your next one is evaluation question details. So this is going to be all of your questions from your evaluation forms and all of the data that goes along with that. This is also the report if you use short or long text. This is where you're going to see those comments for those. All right, so again, I'm just going to scroll down and leave everything blank and click run. All right, this is another report where you can add what information you would like to see on it. This one does have a few more different options that I want to go over with you for this. Let me scroll down. On this one, you can add the question number, so it'll tell you what question number it was on your form. It can add the question type, so it's going to tell you like, is it a drop-down question, a yes, no, radio, etc. You can see the answer that was selected, but you can also add the answer options, so what they could have chosen from for this one. Again, you can add if they failed a critical question, it'll say true, false if they did not. If it is a critical question on the form, it'll say true, otherwise it's going to say false. If it is a scoreable item, one that you were able to add that point value to, is going to say true, otherwise it'll say false. And mandatory, those are the questions on your form that you marked as required, the ones that had to be answered before that form could be submitted. And you just simply click OK. And again, you have a gray scroll bar so you can scroll over to see all of your information. You can see the form name, the version, the section title. Here's your question title, the question number. You can see like it's a yes, no question, no was selected. Over here, you can add the options and you can make these columns larger so you can see these a little bit better. You have your evaluation start date, the submitted date, the actual interaction date, the duration, flow trigger, a manual's your on the fly. Remember, if it comes from a quality plan, it's going to say QP here. Okay. We go back to our next report, and it is evaluations by sections and questions from your forms. And this is going to be another one that you can only select one form at a time. So I'm just going to select my form. If you had multiple form versions, you could select which version you want included here. All right, so here you could select multiple teams if you had multiple teams. This is going to tell you your overall team average score, okay? Right down here is going to tell you the agents that's had evaluations during that time frame that you selected. So you can click right here on this agent's name. It's going to open up a whole nother screen to tell you about their evaluations. All right, so here you can see it by month or you can see it by day, but you can see the different sections of on the form are going to be represented by a different color dot. So I can see how they did in call mechanics and how they did in call verification. Right over here is going to have the sections as well. You can click on the little plus sign and it's going to open it up and tell you like what are they struggling on in each section. Okay. And then what I really like about this report is right down here, you have all of your Interaction Hub information. You do not have to go to the Interactions Hub to find it. You can just scroll over to see it. And you have your play button that's going to bring up your CX1 player and that graded evaluation form. So remember, if you have edit permissions, you can make an edit from here. You also can see the evaluation history from here as well. Now, each section, you just roll your mouse around to find your 3-dot settings to see how you can export each part of this. This back button takes us back to the main part of your report. Now, this is going to be the entire team information. So how did the entire team do on call mechanics? How did the entire team do on call verification? Then right down here, again, this is going to be the entire team. So what questions are they struggling with? Okay. If they're all struggling with one of the questions, that may be a time that you want to do a group coaching session with them to try to get that score up. Right. The next one is evaluations by team. So this is going to give you your team and agents that are on that team's information. And again, I'm just leaving everything blank. All right, so here, if you had multiple teams, your highest rated team would be a darker blue, down to your lowest rated team that would be represented by darker red. Now here, you could see, again, if you had multiple teams, you could see how each team is doing compared to the other teams. And this is going to tell you your top performers for your team as well as your bottom performers, okay? And again, it's just going to be according to the date range you select and those agents that's had evaluations during that time frame. Then right down here, you would have each team listed, and you can see default teams had 9 evaluations. This is the average score. This is their chat score. The employee evaluation score, remember those are the ones that did not have the interaction housed in our system, and their voice average score. You can click on the arrow and it's going to tell you the agents in that team. So I can see copy and the evaluations they've had. If there's variance from the other agents, I can also click right here on view. It's going to open up a whole nother screen to tell me about their evaluations. All right, so I can see how many evaluations they had. This is their average score. This is the variance from the others agents in that team. Now the team's going to be represented by a purple dot. So you can see the team's average score is 63. If I can get it to, whoop. There we go. And I can see my agent's average score is 67. Same thing right down here. You have all of your Interaction Hub data. You have your play button that would bring up the player and that graded evaluation form. So if you needed to make an edit, you can make it from here as well. We have one last report, and this is going to be your evaluator analysis report. So this is going to tell you like how many completed evaluations each evaluator has, how many pending, etc. On this one, it's going to ask, do you want to include on-the-fly evaluations? And I'm going to say yes, because that's how we did all of ours yesterday. All right, so here you're going to see each evaluator's name, their completed percentage, their average score, if they've had any appealed, the total evaluations they've completed, if they've had any replaced or any expired. You can click on the evaluator name and it's going to open up a whole nother screen. And here you could see the trend. You could see this by month or by day. Ours will be the same because we did all of our evaluations yesterday. But you can see on yesterday, I completed 4 evaluations. And then right down here, again, you have all of your Interaction Hub data. You can click on it. It's going to bring up your CX1 player as well as that graded evaluation form. Back to the main part of it. Here you can see your completed evaluations over time. Again, you can do it by month or by day, but you can see like how many were completed on March 5th, how many were completed on the 6th as well as the 11th. Now, I like this because you can compare one evaluator to all the evaluators. So yellow is going to be pending. So you can see there's 60 pending for all evaluators. Green is going to be completed. If there was any appealed, deleted, replaced, or expired, they would be color-coded here as well. And then right down here, you're going to have your quality plan and your on-the-fly information. They're going to be color-coded just like it was right up here. So on the fly, you can see there are 15 that are pending, and there is 8 that has been completed. Now, right over here, you can click on the plus sign, and you can see like the evaluators, their completed percent for on the fly, their average score, the total evaluations, if they've had any replaced or any expired, it'll show here as well. Now, be aware, guys, our reports, they update every hour, okay? Do you guys have any questions about the reports? All right. Well, let's do our knowledge check real quick. Now, on this one, I'm not going to make you answer this one, but to access the quality management BI reports, the following must be enabled. So for this one, you have to go to the employee profile, and you have to select the Can View BI report attribute. Then you go to the roles and permissions, you turn on the general report permissions, and then select the individual reports that you want them to have access to. So this would be D, all of the above.
Letter D.
Very good. All right, how often are the BI reports updated? A, every hour, B, every 24 hours, C, every 5 hours, or D, every 4 hours?
An hour.
Very good. They are updated every hour. All right, so let's hit the parts of MyZone that we did not go over yesterday. MyZone evaluations, this is where your agent's going to receive those graded evaluations that you send to them. They will get a bell notification. When they click on it, it takes them to their MyZone evaluations. So here they can see their evaluation type. Again, standard means it's graded simply by the evaluator. They can see the form that was used, the interaction date and time, the duration, and this is what that 60-day countdown looks like. So as soon as they receive an evaluation, it starts at 60 and it goes down to 0. All of these were employee evaluations, so they didn't have the interaction data, but you can see the evaluated on date and time, and then the score. If you set up ranking, then they're going to see like failed or passed. If not, they're going to see their actual percentage score. Now, if it says new, they just click on it. It's going to bring up their player and their graded evaluation form. Okay, so they can listen to it and they can either see their ranking or their percentage score. If you give them the ability to acknowledge this, they'll have the acknowledge button at the bottom, and that's just them saying, I have received this and I have reviewed it. So when they click acknowledge, it goes to the bottom of their MyZone evaluations and it shows as completed. Now, yesterday, I was telling you on your quality plan, you could send out a standard quality plan or a collaborative quality plan. The collaborative quality plan is where the evaluator is going to score the call and the agent's going to score it themselves, and then you're able to compare the two. If you send out a collaborative quality plan, you are going to get those results in your MyZone quality performance. Okay, it'll tell you it is collaborative. The date on the left is going to be the date the evaluator did their part of the scoring. The score on the right is going to be the date that the agent did their part of their scoring. All right, here's your evaluator name. Score on the left, evaluator. Score on the right is agent. Once both parties have scored it, you can click on this line and it's going to bring up both scorecards side by side. So here's the evaluator scorecard and here's the agent. You can see how the evaluator scored it, how the agent scored themselves. So you can go through and you can compare it. It's just to make sure that the agents are understanding what is expected out of them. All right, MyZone calibrations, we went over this yesterday, but this is where you can get the results for the calibrations that's been sent out. You can come to the score and it'll tell you how each one of these evaluators scored that individual question. Now, one thing I did not go over yesterday, and this is going to be role and permission based. Usually admins are the only ones that have permissions for this, but if you have the permissions, you can set up how you would like your MyZone quality performance averaged, okay? If you have those permissions, if you go into your quality management application, down at the bottom, you'll see where it says QM score metric, and you can choose how you want the MyZone quality performance averaged. You can do the average of percentages. So that's just the average scores from your underlying evaluations, or you can do the average of values. So that's going to be the sum of the points gained divided by your total possible points. Be aware if you edit an evaluation, your agents are going to get a bell notification alerting them, and they can click on it, guys, and they can see the evaluation history, so they can see like their new score and why it was edited. All right, let's do our appeal process. So again, when your agent receives a graded evaluation, they will get a bell notification alerting them, and it takes them directly to their MyZone evaluations. So they can click right here on this, and it's going to bring up their CX1 player and their graded evaluation form. Now, if you give them the ability to acknowledge, that's just saying they've received it and they've reviewed it, okay? When they acknowledge, it goes to the bottom of their MyZone evaluations. It shows as completed, okay? If you give them the ability to appeal, they're going to have this appeal option here, okay? So they just click on it, and when they do, a box will populate. In this box, they have to tell the reason they are sending this back for that one-time appeal. So please look at question 1.2 and 1.3. I believe there's a scoring error. Okay. When that agent clicks submit, their status in MyZone evaluations changes to appealed. All right. Now, if you are the evaluator, you're going to get a bell notification alerting you it's back for review. So you can click on it. Again, it's going to bring up your player and your form. And right here at the top, you're going to see the agent's request reason. So you can see that they want me to look at questions 1.2 and 1.3, possible scoring error. If you do need to change it, you change it right here on the form. The score will automatically update. When you go, you'll have a submit button right here. When you do that, you're going to get a box as well. So in this box, you are telling your agent your findings. So thank you for alerting me of the scoring error. Your score has been updated. When you click submit, it goes back to the agent. They get a bell notification. They can open it up. They're able to see their reason for the appeal. the evaluator's findings or the reviewer appeal resolution. This is the end of that process. So they can't acknowledge it anymore. They can't request another appeal. They only have the ability to click close. All right, any questions on that? All right, in your customer community, this is something I do recommend you sign up for. It is community.niceincontact.com. There's going to be knowledge articles here for you. This is also where you can go to put in those enhancement requests, so things you would like to see in the system. This is also, we have a list of best practices here. If you're having an issue with CX1, you can go here to put in a case, and someone from CX1 is going to get that fixed for you. Don't forget, guys, that you have Dojo. That's sort of like your online university. There are self-paced trainings that you can go and watch after training if you still have questions. All right, guys, this is the end of our training. What questions do you guys have for me?
It's possible to create more reports, VI reports,
There
for
is
example.
not
No.
currently. Mm-mm.
Okay. Could we extract the all the data, making an extract by API?
No, it's either going to be like Excel or a data file.
Okay. Because we went looking for the that situation because we want to extract data to create customer reports because our client he wants to modify the reports. We saw that we don't have all the all the parameters that they want. So
So Daniel, you can ask JD or your project manager, and they would be able to help you or assist you more with that than I can.
okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
You're saying that we have like limit adding users to the report part. Do you know
Yes.
which limit do we have? Or
So I don't, but there is a report if you're an admin that you can add. I'll show you how to get it. We go to all right, so if you come down to reporting, you find it. But there is a report, and I got to find it, that tells you like how many, your percentage of what you've got. Hmm. It may be this billing report that'll tell you. think it's the billing report, Enrique, that you're going to get that from.
Yes, I saw one that says billing report.
Do what now? All right. Are there any other questions? All right, I'm going to stop the recording real quick. I am required, guys, to give you a survey. This is going